Hello everyone, this is Mumbo and welcome back to another episode on the Hermitcraft server. This is episode 116 and today we are starting things off in my very new and very fancy villager trading hall. This place looks absolutely spectacular. I'm already really loving it and we haven't done any decoration work yet. Can you imagine how cool this place is going to look when we get all of the white concrete on the walls, we get some cyan terracotta in place, we just turn this thing into what looks like a huge laboratory. I mean, laboratory is probably the wrong word because we're gonna have a lot of villagers kind of set up in small cages and things. It could end up looking like a very evil testing facility if we go like that, but still, I think it's gonna look great. And you know, if you are an extremely big company with a lot of money and you need to test a lot of very harsh chemicals, then just let me know. I might have a testing facility for you. I wouldn't want to turn down any potentially extremely lucrative plans. I mean, I really like classic cars. And before anyone takes that out of context, we're in Minecraft, okay? I'm talking about villagers, and there's no such thing as a harsh chemical in Minecraft, other than lava. That's like that's the harshest of the harsh chemicals, and it's not even a harsh chemical, it's just really hot. Good grief, this tangent's gone on way too far. Should we get on with the episode? So task number 1 of today's episode... Oh! I was not expecting that. Mending. Should we lock his trade? I'm assuming this will lock his trades, right? It won't just lock the bookshelf trade. That'll be really annoying. Although we do need bookshelves, so it is kind of handy. This is now our god. We have a mending villager. What on earth? So let's be very careful here. I've just crafted up another lectern, so that should act as his point of interest when he makes his way over there. Oh, I was meant to replace these. Oh, no! That scream continued for far longer. I had to cut it short. Well, I guess you live and you learn, don't you? So, yep. Okay, so we had solid blocks. We had solid blocks above our villagers. And that meant that as the villager fell down, they took a tiny, tiny bit of damage. But it was just enough to kill off our little mending villager. Which is a real shame. Real shame. Iskal has zero sympathy for me. He also just totally lampooned me. For anyone who wants to read that conversation, I would suggest it. Pause the video. Yes! Yes! Oh, brilliant. Okay. Let's be real careful here. Break that, get books, buy mending book. And now make sure that he doesn't die. That's the important part. That's where we struggled last time. And actually, watching back the clip, it looks as though the redstone block is what did it. So I'm going to be careful here, and I'm actually going to remove the redstone blocks and pop them out manually. So here goes. Okay, he's dropped through. Okay, he's continued. That was not smooth. But he is in. That is not too shabby either, my friends. Silk Touch Villager. And it's not even a bad emerald trade. We'll be able to get that straight down to 1 emerald with probably 1 zombie attack. Please don't die. 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 Oh, no. Sea lanterns are not, in fact, transparent blocks. I repeat, sea lanterns are not transparent blocks. And before all of you start calling me stupid down in the comments section, because clearly it isn't transparent, in terms of redstone, it is considered transparent. It acts like a transparent block, but then clearly some things can suffocate inside certain transparent blocks that aren't true. It's all a bit weird. Anyway, what I'm working on right now is a modification to the design that moves the redstone blocks from being on top of the rails, which is where they cause villagers damage, to the sides of the rails where they are perfectly safe and sound. This side has been converted to the fully non-lethal design, but I thought I would test to see if it actually is non-lethal before I convert the other side, because I'm getting fed up of killing all my villagers. Unbreaking 3. You always regret not having Unbreaking 3 in your villager trading system, so this guy now has it. And now let's just go. That was fluid. That worked. He still crashed into something. I don't fully understand how he took any damage there, but it was less damage than usual. Not again. I was just flying past Korean's base, and I noticed that the Mustache machine is looking a little bit barefaced. He's definitely got his crossface on. I was a little bit confused because I still seem to have my mustache, but now I've looked and it's gone. My mustache has disappeared. And that has me confused as to how the mustache machine works, because I realized that when we've removed my mustache all the time in the past, I have been near to the mustache machine as we've activated it. But clearly there must be some form of radius around this thing where it detects where I am and then removes it from my player. But what's interesting is that it gives a mustache straight away, which means that as long as I don't get too close to it, at any point in time, there could be 2 Mumbo mustaches on the server. One on my face and one elsewhere. I wonder if there's something that we could do with that. Maybe we could make it more than 2. Maybe we could duplicate my mustache thousands of times over throughout Hermitcraft. If there's a way, I'm definitely going to find it, and I'm definitely going to do it. Anyway, let's get back to business, shall we? What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a 1-hour session of moving villagers over into my villager trading area and getting them set up with trades and things. And you know what? I think it's best to do it in a time lapse. Or not, as the case may be. My villagers kept dying still, but I have worked it out, finally. The issue is actually this solid block right here. The villager would pop out of the minecart, they would hit their head on this solid block, that's where they'd be taking damage. So I've come up with a new design, which is this one right here, where no damage can be taken, and it's already got its first villager. Silk Touch. Nice. So let's change all of the modules once again. We may have a slight situation on our hands. Oh, goodness me. So after some slight mishaps, I think we're now finally ready to go. Let's fill this thing up with villagers. Aqua Affinity seems like a good one to have. Wouldn't you agree? Yeah, I would definitely agree. Off you go into the system. And look! No damage taken! Yes! That is the one that I've wanted. That is the one that I've wanted. Efficiency 5. Nice. We actually have most of the things I need now. Just protection 4, really. If you die now, I'm going to kill you myself. What did I have to worry about? We've engineered this to perfection. Respiration 3, yes please. Honestly, I have had like mending 5 times now. It's actually starting to get a little bit boring. I mean, seriously, look at this. What is going on? Finally, after 3 Minecraft days worth of trading, I'd say this is worth keeping. Oh! Good grief, that could have been way worse than it actually was. Creeper explosion. It blew up my dispenser, which is a bit frustrating. Oh, but it looks like we got that back. But I was expecting all of those villagers to just be unleashed into the water. Would you say this one's worth keeping? Looting through. I think it's one of those things I would regret not having if I don't go for it. Plus we have 40 spaces. Let's do it. Knockback 2. Another one I feel like we would regret if we didn't get. This guy has blast protection 4. I do get exploded by creepers quite a bit, so I think if we could get a variety throughout my armor, get blast protection, fire protection, projectile protection, and just regular protection, we could do really well. The thing is, we're now reaching the point where all of the really good enchantments that we really need, we actually already have. So now we're just picking up the ones that we will need very occasionally, flame being one of them. Depth Strider 3 though, that is actually a really good enchantment, one that I thought we had, but I think that's one of the villagers that actually died. Anyway, we have been doing this for around about an hour and a half, maybe even 2 hours now, and this is the selection that we've got so far, which I've got to say, I'm actually quite impressed. And actually, as a quick point on the competition, I would say this system is better than Iskal's system, because with Iskal's system, you have to do all the zombie curing and everything like that before they end up in the villager trading hall, which means that actually getting villagers into the trading hall is a really long and boring process. Whereas we can do that if we want to. We do have a zombie there, so we could do it that way, but we also have our zombie in the villager trading hall itself, which means that we can do the gathering of villagers in bulk and then do the zombie curing in bulk. Kubo, what are you eating? Peanut butter. The answer is always peanut butter. I mean, listen to this guy. Like, how am I meant to record videos with this in the background? You're eating the microphone again. One day I'll teach you how to make my YouTube videos. Anyway, with this trading hall starting to take shape, I think it's time that we actually start work on some of the decoration of this place. Now, I have absolutely zero idea what I'm going to do. None. Zilch. But I think we should just start and see what happens. Now, actually, one type of block that I really want to use in this thing is quartz, and I was reading through the comments, and apparently the grindstone villager, whatever this villager is, where its point of interest is a grindstone, its last trade, if you trade with it a bunch, will be quartz. That sounds like it could actually be really useful. Today is a happy, happy day. Look how many 64 apples. We can make a full stack of golden apples. That means we can cure up villagers so easily. Also, I'm taking these. That is all my concrete. On second thoughts, I'm leaving it here because this is where I make all my concrete. To whoever owns this potion shop right here, you should really, really make potions of weakness because, good grief, everyone will buy them. Now, I thought it would be worth seeing if I could bulk convert villagers. So this guy is now a zombie as well. So we have got 4 zombie villagers here. If I throw this potion of weakness in the middle... He's affected, he's affected, he's affected, and he's affected. Not this one? No! Oh, I so thought we could do it. I think the issue was he was affected so weakly that it lasted a very short amount of time. So next time I'll have to cure this one, and then cure the 2 middle ones. In fact, should we give it a go? Yeah, let's give it a go. Well, this is definitely a good reason to get an iron farm. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine? As much as I appreciate all the diamond axes I've acquired off this guy, I've just realised, yeah, we've reached the end and there's no quartz here, and he's a weaponsmith. So I feel like I've got the wrong guy. I misread stonecutter as being grindstone. I don't know how I do this. Is that really it? All of this, and it's 1 emerald per block of quartz. I don't know about you, that doesn't seem like a good deal. I mean, I suppose that is essentially trading 13 bits of stone for 1 block of quartz. I have a lot of stone. I mean, I've got loads up there. So we could... is it a good deal? I mean, considering between these 2 guys, I almost have a license to print emeralds. I would say, yes, it could be considered to be a fairly decent deal. I mean, look at this. We just kind of flooded them into the inventory. With that being said, I can only buy 12 at a time, which is slow. It almost feels like we need maybe 5 of them so that I can go down the line picking them up and just kind of scan back and forth like this. Anyway, quartz situation aside, let's get ourselves set up with some form of nicer looking area. First things first, I thought we would do the floor, and I'm going to keep it fairly simple in here. We're going to go for stone slabs going throughout. I thought we'd have little slab pop-ups, I guess. I mean, we have jump boost, so we can easily jump up, and I want to make it so that it's actually difficult for zombies to do things like that. Okay, that's my goal here. And now that 1/2 is pretty much all completed, I gotta say it's looking quite cool. Like, if we take a look, I've placed in slabs underneath some of these modules too, and it looks really, really clean and really nice. Once we get walls up, it's going to look nuts. It has been a while since I've used this thing. To be honest with you, I've completely forgotten how it works. But if I just chuck this in here, I mean, is it going to activate or... Oh gosh, it sounds like it's activating. I mean, I do love super smelters. Especially ones as fast as this one. I mean, look at this. It is silly how quick this system actually is. It really is stupid. Well, that has covered the floor. The floor is done. But I have no idea what I'm going to do for the roof. Or the walls. Or anything. I'm so lost. I'm so lost for ideas of what to do here. 2 hours of roaming around my house later. I'm not even going to pretend that it was productive. I was trying to think of ideas. And you know when you just kind of wander about. Just trying to think of things. Half doing stuff that you're meant to, mainly just browsing Instagram and Twitter. Well, I've come up with this concept here where we have like bands going round like this, and then in the gaps we're going to have cyan whatever. I think it could look really, really cool. What on earth? That is... How fast is this guy going? Good grief. But yeah, the bands idea, I like it. Like things wrapping around, and then we'll have the same on the other side, and then I guess in the middle we'll just have straight bands going over. that could look pretty cool, I think. I'm very confused as to what the motive was for the person putting cyan terracotta through my concrete maker. Yeah, this... I don't even know. Sometimes you're just lost for words, aren't you, to be honest? Anyway, after using my concrete maker for a little while, I have managed to get myself 18 stacks of white concrete. Hopefully that will be enough, but what I've learned from the past is that it probably won't be, to be honest with you. For some reason, well, I was about to say for some reason, I tend to use large amounts of it, but yeah, I mean, I'm starting to understand why I go through it so quickly. I would say it's worth it, though, because look how nuts this looks. This looks completely bonkers. Holy mackerel. Okay, that's very, very cool. Right, let's get the other side in, which I've now just done. The only thing that is slightly bothersome about this, but there's absolutely nothing that we can do about it, is that this room is not centered kind of this way. It's centered in this direction, so obviously these beacon beams, they run up straight through the middle of the room, but they aren't in the center of the room, which becomes a little bit more obvious due to the way that we've got this set up. But that being said, what we could do is you could actually bend this one around the beacon beams, and that would also fill in this gap, and then we could do some horizontal lines here. That could be the way to do it. Whatever happens, I'm really, really impressed by this. I'm seriously impressed. It's used up almost all the concrete. 18 stacks gone. But look at it. 200 diamonds. It feels like it has my name on it again. And you know what? That concrete that we got seems to be almost the perfect quantity. We have only got 25 left, which I would say is pretty good going. And here is what we've done with the top. That looks... that looks crazy. This is so futuristic. And you know what? It actually doesn't look like a horrible science laboratory. It looks just like a crazy... Look how crazy this looks. That looks like... This literally... it feels like I'm traveling into warp speed for some reason. But also... Oh, it just looks nuts. I am so happy with all of the structures that we've created for this villager setup here. I love the villager breeder that we did on the outside. I even quite like the minecart track. Really simple, really nice. And then this is quite the build. I know I sound like I'm blowing my own trumpet here, and I am, because I have been building this for many, many, many hours today, and I'm just happy to see that the effort has not been totally and utterly wasted, because I can promise you, a lot of the time it is, alright? I put a lot of hours into things that I completely ditch, so I'm so pleased that I have managed to do something that I'm not just going to get rid of next week. Whoa, how did that happen? When did that happen? What happened? And this guy's not been renamed. Okay, let's get name tags on all of these villagers, because clearly something is up. You know what? I think I'm actually just going to have to cure him. Thankfully, I had the weakness potion and also my golden apples in that chest over there. I don't have any emeralds, so there was no way for me to get name tags from that guy at the end there. If we hadn't had that stuff, we would have lost our flame dude. What was that, Kubo? What's up, dude? Yeah, I know. Villagers being attacked. You're really wanting to be in my videos at the minute. Subscribe. 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 Subscribe, but not in capitals. Subscribe, but not in capitals. Subscribe. Subscribe. And then I have one left, so maybe I could rename him Subscribe. I'm not really sure. Either way, the reason that we do that, just in case you're wondering why I'm renaming all of these villagers, because obviously the villagers don't despawn. The issue is, if a zombie gets into the system, which none of this is particularly spawn-proof right now, if a zombie gets into the system and then converts one of these guys into a zombie, if they're not renamed, that zombie can despawn. That's a problem. We're going to start losing villagers there. So that's why I've renamed all the villagers. So when they get transformed into a zombie, they still stay renamed. And then when I convert them back into villagers, they actually have cheap trades. So it's kind of almost a win when they actually get converted into the zombies. Anyway, that, I would say, is everything for today's episode. We've made a bunch of progress today. It's been a lot of fun. I'm feeling really good about this project. I hope you are too. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya. Or not, as the case may be, because it's outro time. I have zero idea what I'm going to talk about today. Well, other than that, I got a new plant. It's on my desk. I think it's dying though. I'm not sure. I have a mister, like a water mister here, and I spray it occasionally, but it's right next to my monitor, so I don't know what's going to die first, my monitor or my plant. I've spoken for too long.